I think we need to redefine the word empathy, the idea of empathy, the idea of being a highly sensitive and empathetic soul, a person, human being. And this is a very interesting for me topic to dig deep recently, as in the past I would always be someone who would be more prone to identifying myself as a highly sensitive person, although I think there was not such thing back then, or I at least not in my awareness, and I wasn't also first or eager to identify myself with anything. I think well, I don't think from the earliest age I always been very in kind of like observer mode, so looking with curiosity at the world, at people, at my own thoughts as well, at processes and everything, and quite contemplative, meditative, and observing in nature. So I definitely wasn't someone to identify myself with anything, which was probably the best for me, as if I let anyone identify me as something, I would be identified with also sort of weird, you know, disorders, as recently, especially, there is a name for everything, like, OCD, this, that, and the variation of each, which is actually quite interesting to observe, because creating more of that, we focus on that, and we recreate and we create even more and more, and it's all based on patterns. It's all based on observing people already living lives and having and putting them in all sorts of different boxes and labels, and studying them like in the laboratory, and saying this behavior and that behavior, and like grouping and sorting, and it's all beautiful if you want to do it, but in my opinion it brings you nowhere, and it's still just the play of the mind that doesn't really have any substance in a way. But I wanted to speak about empathy because recently I've been called, well, I don't want to go into like more personal story, but I would just say that empathy, as like growing up as feeling this huge like empathy in a way, being in a room and feeling the energy of everyone around this room, and feeling so overwhelmed and feeling so drained that I always was seeking to escape that place and escape, school, escape this, escape that, and just be back at home and in my own, on my own room, where I was feeling more safe in a way, and at least I was able to hear my own thoughts, and these thoughts were also affected by the thoughts of everyone else, the words of everyone else. They were definitely, as always, are an effect of our conditioning. We are given from the early age, and then are constantly being given growing up in a society, and then repeating that and reinforcing, and we are conditioning ourselves in a way all the time, usually without our conscious awareness, and that's usually where it can get destructive, and it can get detrimental to our health, to our well-being, to our everything, to our lives, the quality of our lives. But this aspect of empathy, yes, I used to think it's a beautiful thing and gift, and up until the point where it was actually becoming quite problematic. And when I say problematic, I'm just saying when you blend yourself up with so much of the external voice, you lose your own voice. You lose the ability to hear and discern and be strong within yourself and make decisions that you know that are true to you personally and are not just the effect of something that we've taken on without even our desire, with our permission, of course, because we took that, but it was not something we would want to take, or we were conscious enough and aware enough that if we soak ourselves in that perspective and listen and hear and constantly repeat that, we will actually become it in a way. It will become a part of us, a part of our mind, and a part of our conditioning, the part of our rule book, so to speak. So right now I would just want to offer you a different perspective if you're someone who identifies as being an empathetic soul, and that you kind of blame your problems and your insecurities and your social anxieties on. This is not really the question of running away from people. It's really the questioning of being strong within yourself. And by strong, I don't mean it in a more mainstream kind of understanding, like to be strong I need to fight, I need to I need to speak for myself, I need to scream for myself, I need to protest and do something that would prove that I am here and I am worthy and I deserve to take space. And if that feels in resonance with you, to actively manifest that to the world and become an activist in that manner, then please do so. But the strength I'm talking within is just something, instead of to add to yourself, is to remove the layers of the thing, of the person, of the things, of the thoughts that have found and plugged themselves onto your consciousness and subconsciousness, that are not aligned with who you truly are. And who you truly are is love. And you can deny that, you can argue with that, please do so. But I invite anyone who would be interested in that, seeing that perspective, to just take it for granted. To just take for granted that creation doesn't make mistake, and the grand creation that have created everything, the world, the earth, the galaxies, the different planets, the lush and vibrant nature and animals and all that richness and abundance of the whole world. This abundance, this creation who created you, it's not possible that if it had made mistake. So actually, you think we need to really humble ourselves and think that we're not bigger by creation, and if we exist, if we're not bigger, that our minds is not bigger than the whole creation, and if the creation created us, then it must not be a mistake, because the creation is perfect. There is God in you, and you are God. And so there is no even a question of that it might be not perfect. It's so perfect that it allows you to think that it's imperfect. and to experience that as your truth. It's so perfect. It lets you think things that are not true. Because even those are perfect. But to the true goal, in a way, if we want to really experience becoming a powerful creators that we came here to be, is to let go, to redefine, to change, to upgrade, shift, up level all the contents of our rule book, that is our subconsciousness, so that it aligns with the perfection of God that you are, with the perfection of love, with the love of love and light that you truly are, the light of Creator that is infinite and is powerful beyond any comprehension, and is able to move the mountains, and is definitely not affected by the energy of other little humans that are coexisting in a space. Because there is only this light and this power and this inner you, and your powerful mind that is creating everything and all of it. And realizing your birthright is to shine your light. Your birthright is to be love. Your birthright is to experience yourself in the most exciting ways for you, without any restriction, of course, to some extent if you desire so. But only by that you are helping everyone. So instead of taking their energy in a way and allowing this energy to be your energy, and the fact that you are actually around these people, that you've manifested yourselves in an environment that there are those people, is also your creation, and it's also a manifestation. So when you already, this has been in motion, then realize that definitely you are not helping anyone if you go to their level, in a way, of and state of consciousness, of consciousness of their minds. You are not helping them. Only by being you, in your power, your joyful, your full, your limitless self, even around misery, even around people who are projecting their fears and thoughts onto you, even around people who are, manifested by you in this form, in this way, who are judging you, who are sharing something that does not feel right to you. You don't have to take that as yours. And you're absolutely allowed to do so. More, you're absolutely obligated to not allow it to be your thoughts if that's not the true you. You have this obligation to yourself, to God in you, that's experiencing itself in this form because it wanted it, because you wanted it. And this is the most exciting thing for the creator, to experience creation through their creation, the consciousness. Let's not go that deep here for the sake of this video. But also, I think it's very important that we don't attach ourselves to any identity. And especially in today's world, it's very easy to almost feel social validation and take almost pride in being identifying as this or that, as highly sensitive, as autistic, as this, as that. But I just want to offer a perspective. What if we didn't identify ourselves as anything? We did identify ourselves only as the pure, perfect creator, the consciousness, the light and love of God that's experiencing itself. For me, so many of those limitations naturally faded away. And through that, you're able to more strongly be your own embodiment without feeling trained by anyone and anything, and being able to be in different environments, not only meditate in the woods and be in your quiet little secluded house, but also be around people and be yourself fully and boldly. And if your preference is still to live in a small hut in the woods, that's beautiful. And yes, I love that, and I definitely resonate with you, but not from the place of running away, but from the place of being the creator who creates life in abundance and life according to their preferences self. Thank you. Lots of love.